Okay, I tried to do this before and my audio kept cutting in and out, but here we go. Nightmare Comics 1 with the next installment of my movie review series, and the next one is Mystery Men, and yeah, like I this is a weird one because this is not a good movie. Fundamentally, it is not a good movie at all. The dialogue's terrible. The Some of the special effects look god awful. The story is really all over the place. uh, what else is bad about it? The look of the characters is kind of foolish too. Everything and some of the characters are just foolish. A lot of the villains are over the top. A lot of stuff about this movie is not good. With all that being said, this movie's enjoyable. Like it's I don't know, it's just something charming about it. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff misses, and when it misses terribly. But when it hits, it also hits pretty hard. Things I like about the movie. Ben Stiller. I usually hate the guy. That's just real talk. I think he's one of the worst actors slash comedy actors I've ever seen in my fucking life. But in this movie, he was actually pretty good. Like his character was actually pretty funny. His whole thing was like when he gets angry, he gets like super powered and shit like that. And really nothing would happen. He just get mad and just do stupid stuff, and it was actually pretty funny. Other things I like, Janeane Garofalo's character in this movie, the bowler, she was pretty cool because everything, like all her lines, she would deliver them like so, like, you know, just so nonchalant, and like she would just drop like some of like some funny shit, and she just say it like in a normal tone. It was great, kind of like her stand up is. Have you seen her stand up? I'm not the biggest fan of her stand up, but she's kind of funny, like straight up. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the villain was over the top. The guy Casanova Frankenstein, he was over the top, but very over the top. By the way, Jeffrey Rush was Casanova Frankenstein, which is crazy. But yeah, synopsis of the movie. Pretty much, you got a little small group of. First is three superheroes, well, three guys that want to be superheroes. One's name is Mr. Furious, that's Ben Stiller's character. One's name is the Shoveler, that's the cat from Fargo, I forget his name right now. And the other one, I forget his name, but he throws like forks and spoons and shit. And you know, they want to be superheroes, but they suck at it and not good at it. And the hero of the city, which I'll get to in a second, who's actually good at it, he gets kidnapped by the villain that he pulled the strings for to get out of jail, which is Casanova Frankenstein. See, in the movie, the guy that was good at it, I think his name is something amazing. I think it's Captain Amazing. I'm not 100% sure. I just watched this like a couple nights ago, but I've already forgotten parts of it. But because it's not a great movie. I get to that in there. But yeah, he pulls some strings for the main villain to get out of prison or out of the crazy house because, you know, he's cocky. Like he's like if Superman was cocky, you know what I mean? Which I thought was a really good take on the character, you know what I mean? Because what if Superman was cocky? But he had like endorsements and sponsors and all this other stuff, and he was starting to lose them because he hadn't done anything exciting in a while because he's so good at his job that every major villain is already behind bars. So he pulls some strings for him, the main villain of the movie, to get out of prison, and it backfires on him because he gets kidnapped, and that's when the three heroes that aren't very good at it decide, hey, we're gonna help get this dude out of prison or whatnot. So they put together a team so they could do it. They recruit heroes. Kel Mitchell is one of the heroes they recruit. Believe it or not, Pee Wee Herman is one of the heroes they recruit. And by the way, his name is the Spleen in this movie. His power is that his farts kill. Well, don't kill, but they're deadly. It's real stupid, and a lot of times it was really stupid. But it was a couple parts where it was actually pretty funny. Oh, what was I gonna say? And Janeane Garofalo, her character. the bowler. And her thing was, oh yeah, Kells Mitchell's thing is that he can turn invisible, but no one could look at him when he did it. And there's one part of the movie that's fucking hilarious, but that involves that. Yeah, the bowler. Her thing is that she has this ball, and apparently this ball has all sorts of mystical powers. That's what it seems like. And she can control the ball with her mind. It's pretty wild. And by the way, her father, who was killed, he put his skull inside of the ball, which is wild to me. But and the whole movie she's like talking to the skull. It's crazy. But yeah, they go and try and save Captain Amazing. First it backfires, and then they figure they need guidance. So they get help from Sagat, and not actually Sagat, but the guy that played Sagat in Street Fighter. His character is the Sphinx, and that dude is fucking hilarious in this movie. Like they try to make it seem like he was like this real philosophical dude, but really he would just say the most simple things and just flip the words. Like he was like, if you question my teachings, then you only learn to ask questions. Shit like that. It was like sometimes I was dying laughing. Like there's this one part where Ben Stiller, probably my favorite part of the movie, is this one part where Ben Stiller asks him, he's like, don't you think a lot of his little proverbs are real formulaic? You got to go left to go right. You got to push something down to pull it up. I mean, it's the same shit. And he was like, Mr. Furious, if you don't learn to master your rage, and then Ben Stiller cut him off. Mr. Furious is his character, and Ben Stiller cuts him off. Then your rage will become your master. That's what you're gonna say. But yeah, stuff like that, man. But the movie's terrible. Like as a movie, it's terrible. But it's some type of charm about it. I can't explain it. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. I would not recommend it, but if it's on TV, I would say watch it. Oh, and yeah, by the way, the reason why I'm reviewing this is because I wasn't even gonna do it, but it was recommended by it was requested by MC Honsker. It's a good dude. I follow him on Twitter. I think his name is Michael Honsker on YouTube. Y'all look him up. He's a good guy. He requested it along with the next movie I review, which is Daredevil. I ain't seen it in a while, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. But and that review is probably gonna be different from everything you heard too. But yeah, it's based on a series called The Flaming Carrot. Basically, The Flaming Carrot was about a carrot who was a superhero. I think something like that. I've only read like a couple issues when I was a kid, like not many. You know what I mean? But he was a part of the group Mystery Man, like he formed it. And some of the characters from the book, I know the Spleen is definitely in that book, but I know some of the characters from the book are in this movie. The movie is loosely based on that team. So there you go. But yeah, that's just a quick review. I can't recommend this movie, but it's not all the way bad. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Next is Daredevil. Q&A is coming, so y'all leave y'all questions in the comments or hit me on Twitter, twitter.com/NightmareBaller1 with your questions, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.